Look at this crowd. I love it. Smiling faces, even the investigators. Hey, thank you for joining us today. We're here to recognize exceptional public service. And yes, I'm looking at each and every one of you. To celebrate work that protects taxpayers. And to honor a team that faithfully and zealously safeguards some of the most vulnerable Hoosiers and their healthcare needs. Our Medicaid Fraud Control Unit makes us proud. And to the members of the MFCU team, let me assure you that you have earned the recognition that we're here to celebrate today. You deserve it because of your consistent hard work in fighting waste, fraud, and abuse in the Medicaid welfare program. And even though this is an annual award, given nationally, it's your consistent hard work that has earned this recognition. Recently, in assuming leadership of the federal government's new anti-fraud task force, Vice President Vance pointed to Indiana's MFCU as an example to other states of how to run these units. And the numbers show that you do it right. Since January 2017, our MFCU recovered more than $109 million in Medicaid welfare provider fraud. The past 12 months are particularly impressive. Through your work, more than 50 individuals have been indicted or charged over the past year. 40 have been convicted. More than 60 individuals or entities have been referred for exclusion from the Medicaid program altogether. Our licensing team, meanwhile, has resolved 52 administrative complaints during this time, including 10 suspensions and 12 revocations. Now, without further wait, it is my privilege to introduce to you, so you don't have to hear it from me. You know, Hoosiers have this way of hearing things better when they're from people outside the state sometimes. So let me introduce to you Deputy Inspector General Ann Maxwell of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of the Inspector General. And although she's currently not from Indiana, she grew up about 10 miles west of where I grew up in Munster, Indiana. And she has a mother who lives in Valparaiso. So in a big way, this brings Ann home to us today. As head of the Office of Evaluation and Inspections, we're all about acronyms here at MFCU, the OEI, Ann leads more than 150 professionals who deliver objective, reliable, and data-driven evidence to HHS, Congress, and the public. Under her leadership, OEI produces results-oriented evaluations that improve the efficiency and effectiveness of HHS programs and offer actionable recommendations so those programs better serve and protect the American people. She also oversees the state Medicaid fraud control units, which investigate and prosecute Medicaid fraud as well as abuse and neglect of patients in healthcare facilities. Ann's 2 decades of leadership have driven real improvements and protected millions. Her office helped reduce inappropriate opioid prescribing in Medicare through congressional testimony, more than a dozen evaluation reports, an analytic toolkit, and referrals to law enforcement. She has directed sophisticated data analytic work on the opioid crisis and evaluations that led to significant changes in how Medicaid reimburses for prescription drugs, and she has strengthened the oversight of the 340B drug pricing program. Among her many honors are the Thomas D. Morris Leadership Award, the Bronze Medal, and the Inspector General Community, the Bronze Medal, the Inspector General Community's highest honor, the Alexander Hamilton Award for protecting the safety and welfare of migrant children in HHS custody. So please join me, give her a large Hoosier welcome for Deputy Inspector General Maxwell for some remarks.
Well, good afternoon. I am so excited and so honored to be here with you today to celebrate the exceptional performance that led to the Indiana MFCU being awarded the Inspector General's Award for Excellence in Fighting Fraud, Waste, and Abuse, otherwise known as the MFCU of the Year Award. One of the very first things that Inspector General Bell did upon being confirmed earlier this year was to be asked to be briefed on the MFCU program. And as I was briefing him, he immediately understood the critical importance of your mission to protect the Medicaid program from fraud and the vulnerable from abuse. So much so that he asked to address the attorneys general at the NAG conference in April to highlight the importance of the MFCU role within the AG's offices. His message to the AGs at that April conference was that our offices stand shoulder to shoulder, linked through a common purpose, and that, of course, is protecting Medicaid and the vulnerable people who rely on it by fighting fraud with everything we have. The IG went on to say that with the national attention on Medicaid, this is our moment as a MFCU community. And this is our responsibility as well to make sure that every single unit has the tools, the talent, and the support to stand on the front lines to fight against fraud. And he asked each one of the AGs assembled, and I quote, "If your unit is among the top performers, you should celebrate that success." Well, you guys heard what he said, and we're doing that today, right? We are celebrating your success because you indeed are among the top performers. You indeed are the top performer. You're the MFCU of the Year. So I'm glad to be here celebrating with you, but I have to tell you, this is not my first opportunity to recognize and celebrate the success of the Indiana MFCU. At the spring directors meeting, I had the privilege of making the announcement that Indiana had in fact won the MFCU of the Year, which I consider to be sort of the Oscars of the MFCU community. And for the first year ever, it was a surprise. Typically, we release a report, we put out the name, but this year it was a surprise. So I got to be in front of all the directors and say, and the winner of this year's MFCU of the Year award is, drumroll please, Indiana! And if it had been the Oscars, and the camera was there sort of panning around the room, they would have noticed two things. One, the incredibly surprised and proud look on Director Whitmer's face. But maybe even more importantly, it would have captured all of the directors giving that sort of supportive nod. You know, that nod that says like, yeah, they deserve it. Yeah, this is right. So it was so clear to me in that room that your unit commanded the respect of the entire community. Of course, as the Attorney General mentioned, I'm from the Midwest. I think I'm an honorary Hoosier. I've been here, come here all my life. My mom is in Valparaiso. And as an honorary Hoosier and a Midwesterner, I'm not surprised, honestly, that the MFCU of the Year is right here at home. That Midwest magic seems to routinely produce teams that go above and beyond. And Director Whitmer really underscored this when I asked him after the announcement, like, what drives the unit's success? And he told me his secret. It's you, of course. That's what he said. It's my team. They're the secret to the success. But in addition to that, he told me that he's always watching for great ideas from across the country and putting them into practice right here in Indiana. That kind of commitment to improvement speaks volumes. And it's exactly why the award highlights two areas where your unit did not just meet expectations, but in fact you exceeded them. First, it recognizes your outstanding successes in combating Medicaid fraud and patient abuse and neglect. And then second, equally outstanding, are your partnerships with your federal and state law enforcement partners. So I'll just start with your impressive case outcomes. And I think these are from a different time than the AGs, so they're a little bit different numbers, but they're equally impressive. So in the last 3-year period, the Indiana MFCU reported fraud convictions and total recoveries, which placed it second amongst the 10 similarly sized units. In 2025 alone, the unit obtained 42 indictments, 37 convictions, and $144 million in recoveries. In fact, Indiana was noted in our 2025 annual report as being one of the 4 units that accounted for half of all of the total civil recoveries for the entire MFCU program. And it should be noted in 2027, where your unit was amongst the 4 that accounted for half, those total civil recoveries were $706 million. That's up from $407 million the year before. A huge increase, substantial increase. And notably, and in alignment with the Vice President's drive to have units use technology and other tools to get rid of fraud, a lot of your success can be traced back to the data mining activities in which you engage in. Now, in addition to your fantastic case outcomes, as I mentioned, the award also recognizes the fact that the unit has maintained positive and highly productive partnerships with both federal and state law enforcement partners. You have effectively collaborated with federal law enforcement partners, including prosecuting 46 different cases with federal partners, including USAOs, the FBI, the DEA, and of course, the OIG. On behalf of the OIG, we're particularly pleased and gratified that you are a routine partner in our national healthcare fraud takedowns that happen annually, as these bring high-level interest in the fight against fraud. When I reached out to the regional OIG agents to say, what is it like to work with the Indiana MFCU? They had nothing but praise, from the SACs to the level agent, the street-level agents, and in particular, they noted that Director Whitmer has been just an outstanding, excellent partner. They specifically noted that he provided thoughtful, actionable feedback on how to maintain a strong working relationship between the HHS OIG and the Indiana MFCU during multiple in-person meetings, and further, that he took a leading role in both public and private conversations at what was called the Davos in Chicago. And I assume he had to be there, and a Midwest conference of 9 different unit directors in Minneapolis. So again, another example of the ways in which the unit and Matt, the director, go above and beyond. Of course, the unit has also built, and we've noticed, strong partnerships with your state and community partners by routinely engaging with these partners to discuss open cases, potential referrals, and ongoing case fraud trends, as well as to hold cross-regional trainings. And I have to tell you, your outreach project to local sheriff's offices and police departments to provide education about Medicaid fraud is currently being discussed by the Vice President's Anti-Fraud Task Force as a model to be replicated across the entire country. Again, above and beyond. So in getting the opportunity to be here today and detail your accomplishment, one thing becomes very, very clear, that the Indiana MFCU is not just doing vital work, you are achieving extraordinary high-impact results that are making a real difference. Your work is making sure that taxpayer dollars are protected, that fraud schemes are stopped, that the vulnerable are safer, and that the Medicaid program becomes a stronger, more resilient, and more worthy of the trust that we place in it. Your work, frankly, strengthens one of the most important safety nets in this country. So thank you. Thank you from myself. Thank you for the Inspector General Bell. Thank you for the work you do every single day to safeguard Medicaid and to support the millions who rely on it. From our perspective, this award is deeply, deeply deserved, and it stands as a testament to your commitment, to your skill, and to your unwavering service. You should be profoundly proud of what you've accomplished. Congratulations.
Thank you, Deputy Inspector General Maxwell. I appreciate those remarks and recognizing the accomplishment of these great public servants and leaders. I'm not sure when your flight back is, but I have volunteered Director Whitmire to escort you to the State Fair this evening, if you like. Got to change your clothes and whatnot, since you are an honorary Hoosier. We figured you'd like a deep fried Oreo, or deep fried pizza, I think is what's going on now. So, yeah. And who knows, you or your mom might have some unclaimed property. You can stop by our booth. So, thank you for those remarks and outstanding work that you continue to do every day on behalf of the American people. Today we get to honor you all as the Medicaid Fraud Control Unit of the Year, as selected by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of the Inspector General. This honor recognizes the skill, the dedication, and the unwavering commitment of every investigator, every attorney, and every staff member on our team. You fight every day to uphold the law, hold fraudsters and abusers accountable, and ensure that Medicaid dollars go to those who truly need the care. On behalf of the people of Indiana, thank you. Thank you very much for everything that you do. And I know none of you here are here for the money, right? I get it. You're here because you decided to engage in a profession and hold yourself to a standard that not every profession does, and that not every career has to. But there are certain professions, certain careers, where by definition of it, when you walk into the door of work, you leave your own interests behind and you put others' interests above yours. And that is certainly where we work today. And that's why I extend my thanks on behalf of all the people of Indiana. Also, on their behalf, let me make this announcement. Regardless of any salary increase that may or may not come to you based on a performance review that you will be getting this year, I'm hereby authorizing to each and every one of you a flat $2,000 bonus in your upcoming paycheck. Thank you for your work. I did this in consultation with your fearless leader, Matt Whitmire. His leadership is certainly a key ingredient in the success of our team. Indeed, he is a driving force. My remarks here tell me to say that he is the driving force. But I know he did not appreciate that. He did not write these remarks. Together we're the driving force, but he is certainly our leader in this regard. Not only is he a capable and dedicated public servant, not only is he an experienced lawyer, thank you, with over 20 years of practice, not only has he served under 4 attorneys general, the last being the best, I'm sure he'll say, but he also has a distinct ability to motivate others and summon forth the very best from his team. And I know that firsthand because he demands the very same of me. He's made me a better attorney and a better leader. Think of how bad this would be if you didn't have Matt Whitmire in between me and you, okay? I think that's what these remarks are meant to say. He is perhaps, maybe you'll agree, understated in style, with a calm and low-key demeanor, but he is overachieving in substance. He has a somewhat quiet but also very effective way of inspiring his colleagues. He reminds me a bit of what Benjamin Franklin said: speak little, comma, do much. He deserves every accolade that we pile on him, and I know he hates every minute of it, so let's really pile it on. Matt has described to me how it's the element of genuine collaboration among all staff members that makes you all so successful. He said, quote, "The success of one person is predicated on the success of another." Only when the analysts do their jobs well, providing accurate and relevant data and information to the investigator, can the investigators in turn do their jobs well. And only when the investigators do their jobs well, like providing details to the attorneys that enable them to bring the strong cases, can the attorneys do their own best work. This is true whether a case involves fraud, diversion, or abuse and neglect. So, let me just go ahead and introduce our leader, our Benjamin Franklin, Director Matt Whitmire. Good job, Matt.
General Rakita, thank you for putting this together for us today. I do appreciate it. You do, and they don't see the work that you do put forth for the Medicaid Fraud Control Unit to be able to work in their space and do what they do, and giving that overall leadership to us so that we do find success. So thank you for everything you do that allows us to do what we do. And also, Deputy Inspector General Ann Maxwell, and I've known you for the 13 years I've been doing this, and the federal government, you truly have been a friend to not just this Mafuku, but all the Mafukus, in the way that you have given clear policy guidance to us and help when we need it. So thank you for that as well. And each member of the unit, welcome. And thank you so much for coming today. This celebration is about you and your accomplishments. Truly, I would not be able to do anything without each one of your commitment to being part of the Medicaid Fraud Control Unit and your contributions to stopping fraud and stopping abuse and neglect in our nursing homes and hospitals and stopping drug diversion throughout Indiana. So thank you for your hard work and your contributions to today's celebration. Talking about those ongoing accomplishments and those priorities that we have, what I see in Indiana is just a consistent work product. Year after year, our convictions are high, our indictments are high, and we have that level recoveries. We do a great job year in, year out, which shows that you guys know what you're doing. You know your job, that you're all wanting to do better. And I truly appreciate working with that group of people in this job, and it has made the last 13 years truly a pleasure. Thank you for that. And as the AG indicated, I do honestly believe that successful Mafuku is predicated on team, not individual success. If we have bad numbers from the start of the case, we're going to have a bad case at the end of the case. And we often do not have that occur. So thank you so much for the hard work that you put forth in putting together great cases. And a lot of that starts with good relationships with partners, which has been earned by the dedication and commitment from each member of this team. And by that, I mean, we work well with HHS-OIG, we work well with DEA, we work well with FBI, we work well with local sheriff's departments, police departments, and other state agencies. The reason why they do this is they know that we have a good product. They know that we're going to care about the case at the end of the day. I met with a prosecutor at one point, and they indicated to me, if we give you this case, are you going to take it to the end? And I could look them in the eye and say, absolutely, we will take this case to the end. We're passionate about these cases. We want these cases. And that passion comes from all of your work. And that's why I truly appreciate it. And that type of passion, other agencies see that, and they entrust us with their cases, they entrust us with their cooperation, and we all do a better job because of that coordination. And looking in the future, the spotlight is on you all. From different states and what's going on in the fraud area, we've seen a spotlight put on the Medicaid fraud control units across the country. And with that spotlight comes the opportunity to excel. And this year I've seen that from you, even since this award. This opportunity to excel is pushing you guys to do better on your cases, to really, really focus in on the violations that might be criminal, licensing, or civil. And you're doing a fantastic job. And the coordination, I know I met with 2 agencies today, and I know you're all doing that as well. We're bringing people into the fold to make sure that we're doing all we can to help Hoosiers. And we're doing this day in and day out. So I just want to thank you all for your contributions to Medicaid fraud enforcement, whether it be on the civil side, the criminal or licensing side, abuse, neglect, traditional fraud, or drug diversion. Thank you for all your work, and today's celebration is truly about you. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. With you and your team, we know you will continue this quality of service to Hoosiers that you described, that we all know to come to expect. We know we will become even more effective in fighting Medicaid welfare fraud. To this end, we hope our federal partners, there's got to be a pitch. I got to send you back to Washington with a message. We hope our federal partners will support our efforts by designating funding for the states to pursue bonuses, to pursue recipient Medicaid welfare fraud as well as provider Medicaid welfare fraud. I mean, the work that you're recognizing us for is on the provider side. We have the whole recipient side that I know I've talked to the Vice President about and that he's concerned about as well to get at. So there's one item for our wish list. And I understand that in September, the typical federal government, right, we don't actually get the award right now. In September, that we're going to physically have a presentation, but I didn't want to wait. This is my selfishness. I didn't want to wait a minute longer to not have an Indiana celebration for your hard work. So thank you guys. Thank you all. I appreciate this very much. Again, on behalf of all the people of Indiana, you're doing excellent work. And I know, looking at each and every one of you and seeing your eyes, seeing your interest and passion, I know it's in your hearts that there's even better things to come. So, Deputy Inspector General Maxwell, thank you again for attending. We are grateful that you're here and that you share the interest that we do in fighting for the people of this state and across the United States. So please, everyone, let's celebrate a little bit. We have a little bit of food. I know you already had lunch, but we have a little bit of food and some cake in the back to celebrate this momentous occasion. And I suspect it'll be the beginning of a streak. I know this is an award that gets passed around state by state, but I'm predicting a 10-year streak of Indiana getting this award every year, okay, for the next 10. So congratulations, everybody. More to come.